Welcome back to No Sticks, No Bricks. We got a scary video for y'all this week.
Scary.
Scary. We're gonna talk about RV horror stories, not just our RV horror stories that we've had the last 25 years of RVing, 7 different RVs, but we also have some special guests on this episode of No Sticks, No Bricks. So before we get to our personal stories that we have, let's turn it over to Jason and Julie from Destination Fulltime, and they're gonna give us their RV horror stories. So take it away, Jason and Julie.
What's the scariest thing that could possibly happen when you're a full-time RVer?
Not having your RV.
Boy, do we have a story for you. About 3 months after getting this beauty behind us with full body paint, we discovered that it developed bubbles in all the white areas of the paint job.
Which is a lot of
There's
areas.
a lot of white paint. We took it to the dealership. The dealer said, oh no, this job is way too big for us. It's got to go to Grand Design. We had 2 choices. Either we had to go to Indiana and get it repainted, or we had to have it transported to Indiana to be repainted. We chose the second option. 11 weeks, guys.
11 weeks later.
Yeah, so Grand Design uses a third party to paint their RVs. They took it, they painted it, it came back to Grand Design, and it failed inspection, so it had to go back to the paint shop again. So it's been painted 3 times total now, but it took 11 weeks for the process to get done and for it to come back to us. Another story that we have, we rarely put out our awnings, and if we put out our...
It's such a stickler for never, there's a bit of wind, we're not putting it out.
I have an app that looks for wind, right? And let me tell you, we never put them down, and if we do, we stake them down so they won't fly up. The one time, no wind, 1 gust of wind blows, and the awning literally all the way over the back at the top of the RV, bent the arms, $1,000 to get it fixed.
Yep, in a matter of seconds.
Third thing that's happened, we have a toy hauler with the Happy Jack bed system. Took out our couches and put desks in. We're raising those up. All of a sudden, the whole thing collapses. Yeah, that's a horror story. Julie didn't know what was happening in the back. But hey guys, that's just 3 of our horror stories.
But we love RVing.
We still love full-time RV life.
Holy cow, that was a lot of bubbles on that paint job.
Oh, no doubt.
And we got full body paint too, so luckily we haven't had that issue, but we are having an issue with paint right now.
We are.
We'll get to that a little bit later in the video. We're glad they got the RV fixed, but 11 weeks, holy cow, that is a long time to be without your home. It's kind of hard to understand unless you're a full-time RVer. If you live in a sticks and bricks, imagine having your home being repaired and you have to leave your home, you have to be displaced for 11 weeks. It's a long, long time, y'all.
I'm not even happy with the 1 month that we're in right now.
Yeah, we've been out of our home for a month, and it looks like it's gonna be another week, and that was a long time, so more than double that. So kudos to you, Jason and Julie.
Yeah.
And then their poor awning, which kind of leads us into our first horror story. And this was about 2 years ago.
We were in Moab.
We were in Moab. Beautiful day, sunny out. We had all of our awnings out. They were all tied down with our sunscreens.
So let me back up just for a second. So we go to check in.
Yeah.
And the guide that shows us to our camp spot tells us we have pop-up storms, so just keep an eye out. It's like we get a lot of them in this area. So we're like, yeah, okay, you know.
Will do.
We'll see. Now this was a travel day for us, so then we get there. So we're setting up and Jason's working on video and I'm up in the bedroom like watching TV, doing laundry. And then all of a sudden, neither one of us were paying attention.
No.
And a pop-up storm came.
Oh, it was quick too, like real quick.
Oh yeah.
And so I go running outside to try to bring the awnings in because, you know, we got to unzip them from the sunshades. We got 2 out of the 3 in, but when we got to the 3rd one, the wind was blowing so hard, I couldn't hold the awning anymore while Jennifer was bringing it in because she's inside running the switch. Oh, jeez. Bloopers.
So I'm inside running the switch, but of course, he can't hold it any longer, and then it ends up...
It just flies right out of my hand.
Yep.
And went on top of the roof, just like Jason and Jen's did. We got super lucky. It didn't hurt anything. Like, it didn't bend the arms, or it kind of put a little rub mark on the fabric, but other than that...
Now, the last awning was awning off of the garage in the back.
The patio awning, yeah.
Now that one took a beating.
That one's got a little bit of a gangster lean on it now. It does work still. It goes in and out like it's supposed to, but yeah, that one was not staked down because no sunshade, and the wind did some damage to that one, unfortunately. What's the matter?
I don't like that.
You don't like what, that? What? It's just a culvert.
Can't see what's inside of it.
I got a light.
Too many lifetime movies, I guess.
This goes along perfectly with the theme of this video. Right now we're at the Kalamazoo Nature Center in Michigan doing a hike while we talk to you. You guys can probably hear the echo. We're underneath railroad tracks right now, and I'm gonna go check out the river. Yeah, and then poor Jason and Julie's Happy Jack system. I can't imagine hearing that crash while you're in your RV. Oh my God.
Those things aren't light.
They're definitely not light, yeah. So, but you know what? They got good spirits and they still love the full-time RV life. Our next guests, Clay and Maria from our Road Less Traveled, are going to talk about their RV horror story that they've had while they were on the road. And it doesn't specifically have to do with the RV. Take it away, Clay and Maria.
Hey, No Sticks, No Bricks family. Jennifer and Jason have asked us to put together a quick video on our worst horror story of being full-time. And while we've had a couple of doozies from South Dakota and some other stuff, we both agree the worst one was this Ram right here deciding that it was going to drop the transmission.
Yeah, so it was about almost a year ago today, almost.
I think it was like June 6th.
Sometime in the middle of last June. Our brand new truck, which we never thought would fail us, did. We're getting off the interstate right outside of Denver. We were getting off on the exit ramp, and it felt like someone rear-ended us.
Yeah, it shook the whole truck.
I was like, what's wrong? You know, go. And it wouldn't pull, it wouldn't move. I mean, it barely would even crawl.
Yeah, it was bad.
So I think it was like a Friday afternoon, and we're, of course, in the Metro Denver. We're holding up all this traffic behind us, and finally we do creep to the red light, and when it changed, we did like go, I think somehow we were able to go like maybe 5 miles an hour.
I think it made it to 6.
To the Walmart, and when we got there, it just went downhill.
Yeah, it just died at that point. That's where Pete West came, and the truck couldn't even get out from underneath the fifth wheel. Pete came and pulled the truck out. We waited on a wrecker. We got it loaded up on a wrecker, and we didn't hear anything for a while. We got in a whole fight with Ram as to how it was going to be fixed. Turns out that the 22s and some of the early 23s had a snap ring that was not properly heat treated. Basically just fell out of the clutch pack. Well, when that happened, it ruined first through fourth gears. And the only one left was fifth and reverse. Ram made us whole. They put in a brand new transmission in it. They gave us a 100,000 mile warranty. They really took care of us once we got the problem, identified and done. But we were down for an entire month, stuck in
Greeley, Colorado. That
smelled like horse.
Talk about feeling helpless. That was a feeling that we never thought we would have, like not being able to move our fifth wheel, not being able to drive ourselves anywhere. We ended up having to rent a car.
Yeah.
And thankfully Ram covered that too. It was a very helpless feeling, and one that I do not wish on anyone.
So that's our horror story.
Yikes, guys, a whole month with no tow vehicle. Oof, that'd be rough.
Very rough.
Yeah, I can't imagine just completely losing your transmission while you're towing your home around. I mean, it would be bad enough without towing anything, but can you imagine being stuck in traffic in a major metropolitan area and having your tranny go out while you're towing your home? Woo. It's just nature of the beast with this lifestyle. You're always going to run into issues, and you just got to kind of take them as they come and defeat them and then press on. So our next horror story that we're going to talk about happened last fall.
Yes.
And we were up in New York with our RV. We pull into the campground, go over one of the massive speed bumps that these campgrounds love to use.
I don't think it was a speed bump.
Oh, it was a speed mountain, more like it.
Yeah.
And I hear pop. I'm like, what in the world was that? So then we get to our site and I do an inspection to see if I can figure out what that sound was. And I find not one, but 2 broken leaf springs, both on the same side.
When it popped off, it did some damage to one tire as well.
Yep. 2 broken leaf springs and a tire, and we actually had to extend at the RV park that we were at because we were waiting on parts to come in. So luckily we had our home, we had our tow vehicle, we just couldn't move till we got parts in.
The other concern for us was, you know, this is the fall up in the Northeast, and the park was like, we literally left the day before the park officially closed for the season. So we were...
Exactly. If we wouldn't have got the parts in on time, I don't know what we would have done, because they were closing regardless. Our next RV horror story happened last fall as well, and before the leaf spring incident, and this was at the Grand Design National Rally.
Yeah, we're in that area
right
now.
Here where we're at now in Indiana. All 4 of our Battleborn batteries decided to stop working all at once. So we had no DC power for about 3 weeks. As soon as I unplugged from shore power, couldn't bring slides in or nothing like that, anything DC related. So basically we finally figured out what happened was that one of our Battleborns just grenaded and took out the other 3. So all 4 of them died at the same time. It was all internal because I've got fuses and breakers running to the batteries outside the system, and none of those popped, none of those went off. So something happened within the battery system that caused that catastrophic failure, and that's what Battleborn confirmed when they tested them, because we had to send them back in.
Yeah.
They sent us new ones, so they did take care of us. Thank you, Battleborn. It was a process, and we were actually, here at Twin Mills RV Park again.
Yeah.
Waiting for the new batteries to come in, so you don't realize how much your RV depends on DC power until you don't have it. So next up, we have Sean and Angela from RV Your Way. They're also going to talk about their RV horror stories, so take it away, Sean and Angela.
So we thought we'd sit in front of the cabin in honor of Jason and Jen's new Cabin Life series. So horror story, I think we both had the same idea when we heard it.
So first year on the road, we had just completed a few successful months of wintering in Florida for the first time. So we decided we wanted to head towards Texas. We were going to skirt the coast, and we were going to stop in Mississippi at a state park there, right on the coast. The campground sent us specific instructions that said, do not follow your RV GPS.
Along the coast, they have, I guess, a dike or whatever, levee, I don't know what you would call it. The train tracks are raised up. I'm guessing that they did that for storm surge and flooding and stuff.
We see these train tracks coming up, and there's a sign. And I am seeing the sign and thinking, oh no, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, what does that mean?
The road was closed on the other side, and I'm looking at it and I think, I can make it. I'm probably going to drag the bike rack on the back when we come down the other back side of the hill.
Yeah, and there wasn't much time to react.
And we had traffic behind us. 2-lane road, huge ditches on both sides, no shoulder at all, just the lanes, ditches. So
here we go.
Start pulling over the train tracks, and the truck just stopped. What it was is our landing gear, the one right in front of the tire, actually went down into the train track, how it's got the metal on both sides of the track, and hooked itself in there. So we were stuck. We were literally stuck on the train tracks. It wasn't moving. I was going forward and back. I was spinning the tires a little bit trying to go forward. So I just put it neutral, put it in 4-wheel drive low. I cranked the wheel all the way, I guess, to the left, so the front of the truck could go to the right, and just floored it. At that point, I wasn't going to sit on the tracks any longer. I wasn't going to risk watching our house get blown apart by a train and anybody getting hurt. I figured if I rip the landing gear off, so be it. I'm getting off the train tracks. It popped out.
But then,
so now we're on this 2-lane road with no place to turn around. I had to back down to a driveway, single wide driveway. It's got raised
huge
concrete berms on each side, and it's just over the ditch. And I had literally 2 lanes to swing a 42-foot fifth wheel into this driveway.
Probably the most pressure you've ever had.
Yes. The fun part was getting back out of the driveway because I had to swing out and around, and the trailer tires wanted to go into the ditch. So I literally just had inches. If any of you guys are ever going to Buccaneer State Park, go all the way down to the road by the casino. It's nice and flat, and then you can come up along the coastline. Lesson learned. We did what we thought we were supposed to do. That's what we were told to do.
So, lesson learned. And we made it. And nothing really too bad since then.
You live and learn. So I hope you guys learned something from our misadventure or horror story.
Good luck out there, guys.
Good luck and safe travels.
Safe travels.
Holy cow, that had to be scary.
Very scary. Probably would have just told you to do the same thing. Just go as hard and fast as you could.
Yeah.
To get off the track.
4-wheel drive, low.
Ugh.
They did the right thing, but man, you always hear those horror stories about people getting stuck on the tracks. Semis, they're no different than, long RVs. You get that angle and you get caught, and oof, that's scary. I'm glad they got off of it.
Yeah, that could have been very bad.
So before we bring up our last guest in this video, we're gonna talk about our worst RV horror story that we ever had. We were stationed at Columbus, Mississippi at the time, and we were going up to Iowa to visit my mom and dad on a long weekend. I believe it was 4th of July weekend. We had not one, not two, but 3 blowouts in one trip. We're not sure if we ran over something. Our RV was only a couple years old at the time and the tires were still in good shape, we thought. About an hour into the trip, we had our first blowout and we thought, wow, that's crazy. These tires are fairly new, they look good, and one of them blew out. So we changed it with our one spare that we had, and about 100 miles later, boom, there goes the second one. So now we're wondering what in the world's going on. It's quite a coincidence to have 2 blowouts in one trip. Of course, we didn't have a second spare, so that was a fiasco in itself, trying to find a tire shop to get a new tire for the RV, which we got done. We got it squared away. And then another 100 miles down the road, number 3.
It was unbelievable.
And we only had 4 tires on the RV because it was a double axle.
Right.
Cedar Creek Silverback at the time. 3 out of the 4 blew out, so we're not sure what exactly happened. If we had just bad tires from the manufacturer, or if we actually ran over something in the road without our knowledge, or what happened. But yeah, 3 blowouts in one trip.
In the first one, we were still on the highway.
Yeah, we were on the interstate.
On the interstate. The second 2, we were able to actually exit off, and we got into a parking lot because we had to detach because we didn't have a spare.
Right, we didn't have a follow vehicle at the time, so
No.
we just had the truck and the RV. We had to detach and go find a tire and come back and
Do it, and then
twice.
And then we finally get to where we're going, and Jason said that was gonna be the last time that we were gonna go to that location.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Adventureland?
It was Adventureland in Iowa, which it wasn't the last time we went.
It wasn't. He was pretty upset.
Yeah, it was a really bad trip. For our last guest on this episode to share their RV horror stories, we have the Wayward Wags. Make sure you're sitting down for this one.
Oh, God.
You might want to grab a tissue. It's a little stinky.
It is a little stinky.
All right, RV horror stories.
It's hard to choose one.
I know we have many. It's a great topic.
It is a great time.
And thank you, Jason and Jennifer, for having
Yeah.
us on and letting us tell our story, which is self-inflicted. So this was about 2 years ago. It was travel day.
What's travel?
And we get up, we have our coffee, we have our breakfast, we go into the bathroom, take care of a little business, a little paperwork before we hit the road.
Oh, paperwork.
We get to our destination, we open the door, and there's water. Dirty water.
Yeah.
Like at the door.
Yeah.
As soon as you open it up. And it gets more prominent the closer you get to the bathroom. There's more and more water.
Yeah.
And
Follow
it's
the
more
trail.
and more dirty
Yeah.
the more you get out. So I go into the bathroom and it's just everywhere. And I was like, what?
Wow.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What? I did a black tank flush, and the black tank is empty, other than the fresh water that I put in there to slosh around. And we don't have a leak anywhere.
Yeah.
So what is going on?
And you stuck your head out.
I had the aha moment.
Yeah.
Aha.
You stuck your head out of the bathroom.
I know exactly what happened. I forgot to flush the toilet.
Yeah.
So I did my paperwork before we left. And I forgot to flush the toilet. So if you're a foot flusher,
Yeah.
you know that you got to fill a little bit before you do your thing. And so there's lots of water in there.
Lots of water.
And now there's some other product in there. And as we're going down the road,
On a very bumpy travel day.
of course the lid was closed, but it's coming.
That doesn't matter.
No,
Doesn't matter.
it's coming out the slots. It's coming out the gaps, and it was everywhere. It was in the, and it was bad.
Well, I didn't go in, so
I
take your word for it. It
I
was
had
bad.
the glove up. I had the mask up. I went in, and it was bad. It was on the walls. It was on the floor. It was on the shower door. It was in the rail. And we decided to do a video about that and tell our experience about that so that we could save others.
Or you decided I was against.
We wanted to save others from having to go through this traumatic ordeal.
I mean, others have done it and just don't admit it.
Yeah, and so hopefully
we admit it.
People have watched it and they've added to their checklist, and then it's not happening to them. So we've saved somebody from a crappy situation.
Yeah, literally.
That's our horror story. Thanks, guys, for having us on.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have nightmares tonight because I've tried to block it.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
I think I could smell it from here.
Oh man, those poor guys. We're so sorry that happened to you guys.
That's a really poopy situation.
That is a poopy situation, and actually that's something that we don't check. I don't think we ever check that on travel days, and we'll be adding that to our checklist for sure, because I usually file some paperwork in the mornings as well.
There's lots of filing of paperwork in the morning.
Yeah, so we'll have to make sure that one's on the checklist. Look what we found.
What is that, though?
It's a giant dandelion. So you gotta make a wish. There you go. What'd you wish for?
For the RV to get fixed.
Alright, so we just want to kind of give you guys a quick update on where we're at. We're still in the cabin here at Twin Mills Thousand Trails RV Park in Indiana, waiting on our RV. But it's Wednesday as we record this, and we're supposed to get our RV back in 2 days.
Yes.
We told you we were going to talk about our paint situation, and that's what we're waiting on right now. Is we're waiting for our new ramp door to get painted to match our full body paint. All repairs have been done. It's fixed. Just waiting on the paint to dry and do whatever they do in the paint shop. So we're really looking forward to Friday.
Oh my gosh, can't wait to sleep in my own bed.
Oh my gosh, me neither.
So we've been packing up today, just putting stuff in trash bags and boxing it all up, packing it up so that we can move it in.
It's been a month since we last saw our RV, so.
If we don't get anything else moved, at least the bedroom stuff.
Yeah.
We will be sleeping in the RV. Oh, and the shower.
Our shower, we get our shower back.
Oh my gosh, because the one inside the cabin is meh.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this scary RV horror stories episode of No Sticks, No Bricks. We want to thank our guests for coming on here. So thanks guys for coming on here and making this episode awesome. We hope you enjoyed it. Until next week, guys.
Safe travels.